so.
Alright, I'm gonna do that then. Also,
I mean, no one's here yet anyway, so.
Yeah, that's right. This is the standard five. For anyone who's watching the VOD on YouTube, this is the standard 5-minute or so preamble before we get into the meat of it. Just waiting for people to come in the stream.
Yeah, I'm looking on Twitch here. I don't even see you. Now I see you. Have 0 viewers.
Alright, that's 1.
One what? That's probably me.
Okay, so Lyle's camera just went off.
Did it? I think that's your problem.
What's my problem?
I feel like the camera going off is your issue.
I don't know how you got that idea.
Bollock, what's up? Rhonda,
Bollock.
how's
Hey,
it
Rhonda.
going?
Why is that? Refresh. There we go. Oh, there's Lyle's pretty face. I just want to see you, like, rip the glasses off and, like, flick your hair.
What hair?
Like a Head and Shoulders commercial.
I wish I had hair to flick. Is this the meta, pot friend? Is this in the meta, pot friend? No. What the fuck are you talking about, Evan?
So you don't get that either?
I'm so confused. No, it's just like a joke, kind of like pot friend, but he's just being an idiot.
Okay, cool.
He's just upset that I keep clapping him in our practice battles. So
yeah, I'm sure that's what led to that comment.
We're trying to get him ready for Arlington regionals on the weekend, and I mean, he's better now than he was. So let's hope he.
After 6 p.m. So I am gonna make an offer on a car this afternoon. And
okay. What kind of car?
Because it's an SUV. It's a Honda CR-V 2010. And because I've always learned that cash is a powerful negotiation tool, I currently am looking at an envelope with $12,000 in it on my desk right now.
Yo, don't dox your address. You'll get robbed.
I know, right? Luckily, there's no Pokestops on this phone here for people to be able to look at my address, kind of ascertain my address there.
I mean, it's 12,000 Australian bucks.
Oh yeah, so it's like $13.50 in US dollars.
Yeah, he lives at Snorlax Dumper Lane. We got
Snorlax Dumper Lane, yeah.
Infamous apparently was using shout out D Knight, Reggie Licky. Great team that they came up with. Yeah, it's a good team.
Yeah.
2 points from veteran. I did hit veteran today with that team, so pretty happy about that. And then I went 0-5 after that. So, but it was just like I was like every team that I battled was ABA weak to Lickitung and Registeel, but mine were both in the back, so they just got alignment basically every time.
That's gross.
So there's nothing like I would swap Licky and they would have a Basti, and their lead was like Azu, and then in the back they would have like a Trev. So either it's just unfortunate, but that's the way it goes sometimes.
Whoops.
In blind threes, right?
Yeah, and particularly OGL.
I did win one game. I I superpowered the Basti and then Dragon Breath down the Metachamp. That was pretty fun. With Dragonite, so
Yeah, Dragonite's a fun Pokemon to use.
it's so good now with superpower.
Yeah.
Because
L.
like
Jacob, hey, welcome in.
it just like it gets walled by like some of the fairies, but I mean I'd rather get walled by fairies than steel types because like
Yeah, for sure.
fairies are already a bad matchup, but like steel is like at least neutral.
And there's less fairies around now at the moment.
Yeah, like I don't even see. Honestly, I double superpowered Nazu and it did like half its health. So
it's all right. Take that.
I'm aware. Yes. I'm the one that got her to build the chestnut. Oh, okay, yes, yeah. No. I got the joke. The team went pretty well today. Like I said, I did have an 0-5 after I hit veteran, but then I went 3-2 after that. So like,
okay, cool.
It was all like really good. Just that one really bad, but that'll happen every once in a while. So yeah.
And so, do you have plans for your PC yet, or were you waiting to see what we come up with in this stream?
I'll probably start with the team I was running last time because it was pretty solid and which was Muck, Kanto Muck, Shadow Gyarados, and Trevenant.
Kanto, Muck, Shadow Gyarados, and Trevenant. Let's just go ahead and pop that into Team Builder.
That was the team that my one of my friends came up with, and actually Home Slice Henry ended up hitting Legend with a very similar team.
Okay.
Last time this meta was around last season, so I think it's a solid team. I think he was using regular Gyarados, but we were preferring Shadow Gyarados for like a safe swap to bait out like a Walrein or something like that, right?
Yeah. What was the third Pokemon again? The
Gyarados.
Gyarados. That's yeah.
I mean Shadow or regular, whatever your preference is, I guess.
What have you been using?
I've been using Shadow.
Cool. That Muck Trevenant is like an unexpectedly good core.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the Muck with the Thunder Punch, it like does really well against like Dragonite. Even it does well against Charizard, Gyarados. I mean, it's not. Is this Ultra League Premier? What are they saying? Look at time.
It's Great League.
Great League. I mean, yeah, that wouldn't be a good team in Great League. I don't
No.
Yeah, you get clapped by a lot of things.
Still a deeper coverage, but that it's in with 3 Pokemon, it's hard to
the Muck is
get high coverage.
The Muck should be just regular.
As in like Kanto. You said Shadow.
Does it say Shadow?
Yeah.
No. I mean, I'm just using regular Muck.
Okay.
Muck. Non-Shadow. Yeah, there was a couple core breakers.
Oh yeah, goes up to C.
There was a couple, because of the bulk helps in like some matchups like Charizard. Maybe Charizard's a little rougher now because last time like you had paced a similar time, so Escavalier over Muck, he hit Legends. You could run with Escav, but then you're like pretty weak to like specifically like Charizard and stuff.
Yeah,
I mean you could lead the Gary maybe possibly. Muck's nice.
There's no Talonflame, I guess, which is promising. But like, what else would there be?
That second pick there, like if they have that Steelix, it's like a nightmare.
There's not too much fire going around.
I mean, Charizard's going to be on a lot of teams, man. It's going to be on a lot of teams. Like Steelix, it wasn't like super popular, but Auroras, it wasn't a thing last time. So that could be maybe a bit of a problem. Obviously, Walrein is annoying. That's a bait-dependent matchup with Muck. Because if they land the Honchkrow, I don't see that popular.
Yeah, no.
The things that, another one that was really neat. So there's basically 2 Pokemon that were like super annoying for this team. Actually, one was Nidoqueen. So it's nice. You're not going to see really much Nidoqueen anymore, probably. Steelix is like almost impossible to beat with this team. Like, you're just... You're done.
You just straight up.
And then
What if what if it's running Earthquake over Crunch? Like, could Trevenant have a decent?
It doesn't matter because
Gyarados. Yeah.
just because like you have Poison Jab like Dark Pulse, so you're doing like your lead matchup is horrible against it, and then you have Dragon Breath, and then in the back like your best Pokemon versus it is Trevenant, and they're probably just gonna Psychic Fangs you anyways. So
yeah, sure.
And the other one was Orangaroo.
Oh. Does that work in
Yeah, you need a
Classic? Hundo. Okay, sure. What does it get up to?
You need a Hundo. I saw quite a few of them. It's like so annoying for this team, like really annoying.
So the Shadow Zard is better as the pivot than the regular Zard, but the regular Zard rated just slightly higher overall.
So I have a dilemma, Fish. You maybe can help me with this. I have a rank 1 Shadow Charizard for Ultra League, okay?
Okay.
Or it's amazing. A rank 2 for Great League.
Ooh. Oh, okay.
And then the other one, because I have another one that's rank 9 for Ultra League. How's it going, Smiley?
Hey, Smiley.
So it's I'm thinking like I might as well keep the rank 2 one for Great League and then build the rank 9 for Ultra League. But like it feels so bad not building the rank 1, right? Like
I totally agree. Yeah, it feels bad, but like if you're looking at it purely, rationally, pragmatically, like it sounds like building the Great League one is the better way to go. Especially since like I always tend to prioritize Great League over the other two just because there's so much more battling done in that league. Check,
because the rank 9 Ultra League one is a rank 17 for Great League.
Oh wow.
Charizard. So like I could have like a rank 1 for Ultra League and a rank 17 for Great League, or I could have a rank 2 for Great League and a rank 9 for Ultra League. Like which do you think, like, I don't know. It's so hard. It's so hard.
I mean, it's nice having the rank 1. Like, I mean, it is satisfying.
It's very satisfying.
Yeah. Crazy Kid, what up?
Yo, Crazy Kid, rank 1 for Ultra League then? Yeah, I think I might. It's also a rank 1 Charmeleon for Great League.
Well, there's your answer.
I can build a rank 1. It's a 0. Here, I can show you the ID. 0. See if you can see that. 0, 13, 15. I don't know if it's.
Yeah,
can you even see
I'm
that?
having to. My windows are really small right now because my second monitor broke, so I'm having to put this all on one screen, and so like I've got a whole bunch of really small windows on the screen.
It's gonna cost me 210,000 Stardust to power up.
That's not too bad in this day and age.
I just built a freaking Dunsparce.
Hey, Illusion.
So, Illusion, what's up?
Say hi to Lyle as well.
And I might have, yeah, you better.
Yeah.
And I might have to build a freaking Weezing too. So let's see. I don't know yet. Still up in the air.
I don't think any of these key wins definitely aren't surprising. The key losses.
Grass.
Yeah.
It's a little blurry for me. Let me pull it up on my phone so I can at least see. Okay, rankings. We're looking at what? Ultra League Premier Classic?
Mm-hmm.
Are we looking at regular or Shadow?
This is the regular.
It's rank 1. Like, it's going to be good. Like,
yeah,
it's number 1 overall, right?
Mm-hmm.
Swampert, I mean, yes, it loses to Swampert, but, like, you can survive a Hydro Cannon. Like, Blast Burn does a shit ton.
Can the Shadow survive the Hydra?
I would say no.
Right. So the regular can. So in certain situations, if you've got, like, how much does a Blast Burn do? It's not nothing. It's
Hydro does 90% to a Shadow. So, like, and a Mudshot does 2%. So
yeah. So
basically,
Mudshot's
it doesn't
plus the
really
Hydra.
survive the Hydra, right?
Blast Burn does about a third damage to it. So if you've got like two Blast Burns built up, if you've built up to 100 energy and that Swampert's been chipped, like that's your win con in the end, right?
Yeah. No, Blast Burn's such a good move.
Mm.
It does like 37, and if it's a
Mm-hmm.
shadow jumper, Blast Burn does like 45%. So, I mean, like, if that's
What if
if
it's
it's a
shadow on
just
shadow?
shadow on shadow, Blast Burn does 53%. Oof, that's
Yeah,
scary.
I know, right? But then Hydro Cannon does 108%.
You get it low in the 2 shield straight Dragon Claw, shadow on shadow. You get it down to like 18 health.
Okay.
So I mean, if you have a couple extra energy, you could probably yeah. If they decide to double shields, you can win the 2 shields with Charizard if you have a couple extra energy. I mean,
This matchup against Gengar I find really interesting.
Shadow
So,
Claw is doing quite a bit.
yeah, but the Gengar's surviving a Dragon Claw. And the Shadow Punch, along with the Shadow Claws, is
Yeah.
is doing that
I
job.
mean,
But Gengar only has 1 HP left.
what's his face? Charizard has never been accused of being too bulky. So, well, that's the Shadowzard too.
That is the Shadow, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure which one's better. I've used quite a bit of regular Charizard in Ultra League, but I'm excited to try it now that it's got the buff
Mm-hmm.
on it. We'll have to see.
Yeah, and like no surprise that the top 3 Pokemon are all wing attackers. Gliscor and 4 of the top 5 are wing attackers.
Yeah,
Gliscor
and
real
then
good
you have
too.
Trevenant.
And then you have Trevenant. So, how does the Gliscor Trevenant matchup go? That is a win.
Probably much better for Gliscor in Ultra
Mm.
League than it is Great League.
Right. Shadow Ball is doing 47%.
Are they Earthquaking the Trev?
No, sorry.
Jesus.
Wait, yeah, that's weird. Earthquake is doing 40% damage. Night Slash is doing 35. So an Earthquake does do more raw damage. And it's less energy for an Earthquake than 2 Night Slashes. So this is a weird situation where the Trev is in just enough HP left that an Earthquake is more appropriate than 2 Night Slashes.
Huh.
I guess in a real time situation, you'd probably just like farm down a little more and then just get it into Night Slash range.
But they might get Shadow Ball or something.
Well, in this particular scenario, yeah, in this, so you've got one more. Actually, how much does a Seed Bomb do? You might even be able to like tank another Seed Bomb, 25%.
Why would they throw Shadow Ball? That's my question.
They might think that you are gonna throw, and they don't think they'll get to a Shadow Ball, so they just try and get the extra little chip with a Seed Bomb, and then you take advantage of that.
Yeah, because if you check the Sims here, basically... Okay, they will survive a Shadow Ball, the Shadow Ball.
From that range?
Yeah, you can survive the Shadow Ball and get the 2 Night Slashes. So.
Oh, there you go.
Makes sense. You're very low, but you will get the 2 more Night Slashes. So if they decide to... they can't win that matchup, basically. They would have to probably double bait you or something. I don't even know if they would. No, they wouldn't be able to get to. There's no way they would be able to get to 2 Seed Bombs and a Shadow Ball before you got to 3 Night Slashes, right? They would need like a lot of energy. So, like, let's say they had 3 Shadow Claw energy lead. They do get there, but you still survive. So. It's basically like a good win. I would say a Shadow Gliscor then, it makes it a little tighter. But then again, your Night Slash are doing more and the Wing Attack's doing more, so...
And an Earthquake
I haven't used much regular Gliscor. I was using some Shadow Gliscor in Great League earlier this week, and it was going pretty well.
Is there more to that story, or...?
No, I'm just saying, like, it's good now with the Wing Attack, and it's nice coverage. Like, The thing about this meta though is like it's not as heavy of a steel meta as Great League.
Right.
So like
Right.
the ground, I don't know if the ground coverage helps you as much as it does in like Open Great League, right? I mean, there is some steel. There's like Steelix and like Exegil, but like if you look at these rankings versus like Open Great League, like
Yeah.
you know, there's like Basti, Registeel, G-Fisk.
Yeah.
Basically, every team is that crap, right?
It's got one steel. Yeah.
I mean, there's Steelix, and you need a Hundo, and
the Scavalier isn't weak to ground anyway.
I mean, an Earthquake will probably still like kill it, but
Yeah.
it's
Valid.
technically not weak to it. Yeah, so I'm not sure. Like, I mean, I guess it will help you. What does the ground help you with? Ice? No, I mean electric.
Yeah.
And
Poison.
Poison. Yeah, poison. So it could be nice. There is quite a bit of poison. So like the muck we were talking about, like Gliscor would be really good against muck. Gliscor might be a bit of a core breaker for that team that I was talking about too, because like it would beat muck and it would beat Trev, right? So that could be a bit of an issue. You
got Toxicroak, Nidoqueen, your dark poisons. Yeah.
I think the most popular poison types in this meta are like muck, Alolan muck, Crobat is pretty popular.
Do you think Drapion will be as popular?
You need a Hundo Drapion.
You do, yeah.
I know someone that was using Shadow Drapion, and it was like really good, but like again, I'm not going to invest in any of these things because like this is the last time it's coming. So
yeah, that's the thing as well.
Like previous seasons, I built stuff specifically for this meta, right? Like I have an Abomasnow built for this meta, but like now it's not technically Abomasnow's not useless because I am going to power it up to level 50, and then actually in factions, as you know, right now we can use Megas Advanced League, so
yep. So and you're considering Mega Obama?
I thought about it. I don't think it's that good, but it's definitely interesting typing. That's for sure. Yeah, but from the poison types, I think Sneasler seems interesting. I'm not sure how
worth it. Worth it?
Sneasler?
Yeah.
Yeah,
hey,
I mean,
Ricky.
What's up, Ricky? I think it will be good in open too, right? With Shadow Claw, Close Combat, Exorcism.
Yeah, so
I think it will be good in open or Premiers.
So it would have trouble against poisons that don't have the dark typing as well.
I mean, you do have a close combat, and you resist dark moves because you are a fighting type.
Yeah.
And you resist poison. So, like, let's say you're a Muck, right? A Alolan Muck. You're resisting all of their moves, and you can at least throw neutral close combats and X scissors at them, right? So,
all right, it
says here it's beating Obstagoon with Shadow Claw. So that's
pretty crazy. Does it have to bait with an X scissor?
I feel like you wouldn't even need to.
Just go straight close combat.
You can probably just double close combat, right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah, it looks very interesting. Here's one. While we're just talking about poisons, there is one sort of new one that was like not as popular last time around, but I have one built now, and I think it could be really good. Is a Overquill.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too, actually.
Because it's
just
everyone knows how good like Hisuian Quillfish has been in like a lot of Silph metas and stuff. It's pretty much the same thing, right?
Tell you what, I'm gonna start putting pins in stuff because there's stuff that I want to take a look at. So first, I want to look at Sneasler versus Trevenant with Shadow Claw, Exeter. Then I want to look at
Sneasler will most likely get like one shot by a Shadow Ball from Trev. Well, like not one shot, but like pretty much with it's not the bulkiest thing.
So it's not safe by any means, but I want to see how much play it does have against
And
it.
you know those
because
Trav users, they love to bait.
They do. And then I also want to look at Aurorus versus Walrein. Which ice type is better?
I mean, are you talking about the Aurorus Walrein matchup, or
No,
just
as
in
in
general?
using Aurorus versus using Walrein.
I was using Aurorus a lot in the remix for the first
Yeah.
week. Bro, that thing's frigging disgusting.
Yeah, yeah.
You get some, like, honestly, it got to the point where I'm just like, I don't even give a shit if you shield this meteor beam, because like my powder snows are gonna be doing more, and then after that I could just go straight weather ball.
Yeah.
Because I boost my weather ball damage too, right?
I've got a rank 3. Wow. Okay, so Sneasler versus Trevenant. So I imagine this would be a loss for Sneasler, but how close does it get? That's real close. From a standing start, that's with a successful bait.
Yeah.
So if you call a bait, you're definitely winning that.
I know where my rare candies can go. They can go into a Mora. I have one here. It's a rank 200 for Ultra League. And if I evolve it, it goes to 2049.
Now here's an issue.
Huh?
Here's an issue. Like, even if you do call a bait, it's getting you so low that, like, you're probably going to be tempted to shield whether it's a seed bomb or a shadow ball. Like, even if they told you, hey, I'm throwing a seed bomb, you're still probably not going to be comfortable letting that go.
It does enough damage with the shadow claws. You're in trouble anyways, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like, if you've got any sort of chip on the last Pokemon, then you're gone. Okay, cool. So, cross. Next.
How about we check the Overquill Trevenant matchup?
Yes, we are.
Now that's going to be a good one.
Oh yeah, that'll be good for. I mean,
that'll be good for.
I don't
Overquill.
even think that's necessary. We know how good that'll be. Aquatail, Shadow Ball. Any reason for Dark Pulse, Ice Beam, Sludge Bomb?
I think you definitely want Aquatail because of, it's going to be a nice core breaker, but for like those like Charizard,
Gliscor.
Maybe like a Charizard. Yeah, Gliscor will be tricky because Aquatail doesn't do like that much to it. But let's say they're running like a Trev. You could easily run like Trevenant and Charizard core or something like that. It could be like a nice core breaker to that.
Would you run so for that second move though, the Shadow Ball? Are you running Dark Pulse instead of that, or Ice Beam instead of that?
Probably Shadow Ball, maybe. Is there any water types? Yeah.
Is there any water types in the meta?
Just thinking, like, there's
Walrein.
What do you want to hit with Shadow Ball? Walrein, you would want to hit with the Shadow Ball.
There's Swampert, but that's
Shadow Ball's a
neutral.
better move than Dark Pulse, right? We've went over this
Gyarados.
before. Gyarados, you'd want a Shadow Ball. I think you want Shadow Ball, or I'd say maybe Shadow Ball, or like Sludge Bomb or something.
Oh, okay.
Because Sludge Bomb is good move too.
Is stab.
And it's stab, and it's again both those moves are better than Dark Pulse. So
is Sludge Bomb better than Dark Pulse?
Yeah, pretty sure.
I'm gonna just double check that.
Dark Pulse is slightly lower energy, but like in terms of like actual damage, I think Shadow
they're
Ball
the same
is
energy.
better.
Same energy. It's exactly the same actually.
What Sludge and
Sludge Bomb and Dark Pulse, same energy and same damage. Which means since we established 50-50 and 80-80 for damage.
Okay, what about Shadow Ball? What was that one again? That should be 55.
55 and 100.
Yeah, so Shadow Ball, it's 5 extra energy. Even with the stab, it's going to be hitting harder, right?
Yeah.
So it just depends.
I think we also established it's higher damage per energy as well. not
Yeah,
just higher
even
raw
with the
damage.
stab.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Okay, I mean, you have options at least. You could,
Yeah.
depending on your team comp, right? You could.
Yeah.
I could see you running anything. Maybe you want extra fairy coverage. You could run Sludge Bomb. Maybe you want extra, like that Shadow Ball is nice because it can hit the fighters, whereas Dark Pulse is resisted, right?
Yep.
So, like, let's say you're up against like a Surfetch or a Machamp, you can nuke it with the Shadow Ball, whereas with Dark Pulse, then you're going Aqua Tail, which is kind of like weak. So,
and then you've got like if you need a little bit more anti-flyer coverage, then you have got the Ice Beam there.
yeah.
If you need a bit more coverage against Darks, you've got, I guess, Sludge Bomb.
Yeah, it's dark. Sludge Bomb would be for the dark type, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I think it just depends on your team. Maybe he just a team comp he had, he felt like it was better for him. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with either.
Yeah. It's dealer's choice for that one. But if you don't run Shadow Ball, you're a scrub.
So, like, if you look at the top picks, like, it has the ability to like put in work there.
Yeah. Yeah.
The first thing I see that would give it a bit of trouble is probably Dragonite.
But if you're running Ice Beam, I guess.
Yeah, but they're gonna shield. You have the pressure of the poison jab, which is nice. But like Aqua Tail is your spammy move and it's resisted, and Dragonite will outpace you to the Dragon Claws. And
here's what I want to look at for Dragonite.
I'm not sure in this meta. Like, I was running Shadow Dragonite in Open or in Ultra League Premier last season.
Look at that shit.
But I don't remember what I was running.
This is the 1-0 shields. Shadow Dragonite against the Premier Classic meta. It loses to 4 fairies. Oh, sorry, 3 fairies and a Steelix.
Yeah.
But like beats Wall Rain. Like you can shield an Icicle Spear.
Believe me, I know. I
Yeah,
beat fairies with that.
That's
Shadow
amazing.
Dragonite is like, it's honestly one of my favorite Pokemon right now.
It's so cool.
I'm using it because of the fighting coverage. It's just like it can beat steals, it can beat like everything, except for fairies basically. But the good thing is some of the fairies, like maybe not in this meta, but in like Ultra League, like you get a lot of like A9s and stuff. You can still like superpower them. It's neutral. Like I KO'd a A9 with a superpower to win a game. It did like almost half its health. So
that's crazy.
That was in Ultra League
so good.
too. So yeah, I love Shadow Dragonite.
I feel like this is one where the shadow is pretty necessary, right? As opposed to like a Charizard where you could kind of make choices depending on how much bulk versus attack you want. But like with this one, I feel like if you're going Dragonite, you're doing it for the raw power. So you kind of need just like Machamp.
I like the Shadow. I mean, I think, because Dragonite, it's one of those things where it does flip some matchups with the regular versus the Shadow, just because you can hang in the matchup a little bit longer if they have like fast move pressure, let's say. Like I think I saw earlier, the regular beats Charizard still, but the Shadow loses
the regular.
To Charizard.
Oh, okay.
So that could be something to consider, depending on how weak your team is to Charizard.
Popping it into Matrix.
Like, I'll probably still lean towards the Shadow just because of the Dragon Breath damage. But you can see there, you're picking up some matchups, but you're also dropping some. So it just depends on... Yeah, but like, what are you picking up? Gliscor?
Yep. Which is a big one.
And Muck, those are all pretty decent ones. You lose to Charizard, you lose to what? Is that Gallade?
Losing to Gallade, Poliwrath, Roserade, and Scizor.
Yeah, because the Ice Punch will one-shot you as a Shadow, right? Basically. And then Gallade, you just get Confusion down. What about the overall scores? I'm just curious.
The regular has an above even average, and the Shadow has a below even average, which is interesting.
What about the 2 shields?
It's basically the other way around, and Dragonite picks up a whole bunch and only loses Poliwrath.
That's kind of what I expected.
Mm-hmm.
It's like where the having shields just allows you to power through things with the shadow, right? So it's like it's kind of depends on the rest of your team.
Yeah.
Like for me right now, I'm using Shadow Dragonite and Great League. I'm like using shields on it quite a bit. And then my other 2 Pokemon are Lickitung and Registeel. So it's like I have things that can take charge moves, and I don't need to worry about shielding, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I have something that's usually the team comps that I like to build, is something that requires shields and can dish out a lot of damage, and then other things that can take a beating. Because if you have too many things on your team that require shields, it can be tricky, which is also another tricky thing with this meta. Being the fact that there's not really any XL Pokemon, it is a Glacier meta.
Mm-hmm.
So you really have to be good at managing your shields, for sure.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, we all know what Swampert can do. It's gonna be improved over previous Classic Cups just because Charizard and Gliscor are so much more prominent now.
Mm-hmm.
Any other differences you can think of over previous seasons?
No, not really. I still don't have an Ultra League Swampert.
Oh, and Aurorus.
In Auroras, yeah, Auroras. I mean, yeah, Auroras is like kind of bulky though,
Is
and
it?
like it's decently bulky.
Yeah, right, okay. 4-2. So what does that compare to? What's Swampert? It's 3-9. So it's bulkier than Swampert.
Yeah. It's like decently thick. Like it could definitely eat a Hydro, and it's dishing out those neutral Icicle Spears. So if you give it a bit of energy, it could probably still put in work against the Swampert, right?
Yeah, so Weather Ball's doing 25%, Powder Snow's doing basically 3. Hydro Cannon doing 55%, so you can obviously only tank 1.
Yeah, it's not ideal,
but it's got play. It's got something there.
You can at least like end game take it out with a couple Weather Balls or something if you farm down like their Dragonite or something. I don't know, right?
Yeah.
There is win cons. How much does a Meteor Beam do to a Swampert? That's what I really want to know.
A resisted Swampert, 35%.
So pretty good. The next one will do
more.
more.
More than the Weather Ball. It will. Technically true. So how much energy is Meteor Beam again?
60.
Right.
It's broken. It's a broken move. It's 120 damage, I think, 60 energy,
yeah,
and a guaranteed 1-stage attack buff.
So how much play is there in, like, say, throwing a Meteor Beam against something that resists rock in order to then do more damage with your Weather Balls later? Is that
I said, the thing about Meteor Beam is like you don't even give a shit if they shield, because you still get the attack. It's like Registeel. You just zap. You just zap. If they shield, that's fine. Then you can just start throwing the other moves.
I can't remember what I don't think I managed to catch many Auroras when it was here, or Amora when it was here. How do you spell the thing?
Meteor Beam is Amora or something. AUM something.
AUM.
I think so. Let me see.
No,
or maybe it's AM.
AM. Yeah, we'll just go with that.
It's AMAU.
I have one Amora. And it's 12, 12, 11.
Okay. I have one built for Great League that I used quite a bit in factions last season, and then I was using in Remix. And then I have a couple that I have, but the best one I have for Ultra League is like rank 200. So it's not amazing, but maybe I will build it.
If you have the energy resisted beam, it does more raw damage than neutral Weather Ball. There you go.
Yeah, Meteor Beam is just, it's too strong of a
ridiculous.
Move.
Yeah.
What Pokemon can learn Meteor Beam?
G-Fisk Meteor Beam. Let's go.
No, Registeel.
I can picture Regirock with Meteor Beam.
If you gave Registeel and Meteor Beam, you wouldn't. It wouldn't have. Then the preferred moveset would be Meteor Beam. I think it would be Meteor Beam Focus Blast. Probably.
Okay. What about so Sudowoodo knows Meteor Beam? Would you run like Meteor Beam
XL.
Earthquake or? I'm just thinking in general. So like for Great League as well.
I have no idea. It's a little awkward with counter maybe because it charges a little slower.
Yeah.
And like it already has really good like Rock Slide is 45 energy. Like it's 15 more energy. I mean, you are boosting your counter damage.
Yeah.
So there's that. I mean, it could be interesting.
All right, so let's take a look at the Aurorus versus Walrein debate. Finally put an end to this. It's been raging since the dawn of time. Fuck.
Aromatisse? Yeah, Pseudo.
No.
So you want Rock Slide. You would want double Rock moves, maybe?
Kind of want the Rock Slide as a bait move. Yeah, right. Yeah, so PV Poke does recommend double rocks.
Yeah, because it's like too much Earthquake Meteor Beam.
Yeah.
At that point, you're like basically like a Quagsire with a slower charging fast move, right? You're like a really shitty Regirock, basically. You're dealing fast.
You're a really shitty Regirock.
No, that's you.
All right, so Aurorus at the top, then the regular Walrein picks up Empoleon, Scizor, Snorlax, Steelix, Shadow Swampert, and regular Swampert.
Wait, which one picks up Empoleon? Walrein?
Walrein does.
Okay, thank God.
Walrein over Aurorus.
I mean, I know Meteor Beam does a lot to an Empoleon, but I still don't think Aurorus can win that matchup straight up.
No. But then the Aurorus wins against Charizard, both Shadow and regular, Lapras, Overqwil, and opposing Walrein. So I guess, the Aurorus is going to beat the Walrein.
Mm-hmm.
And the Aurorus is going to beat the Charizards, where the Walrein won't. It does still seem like I'm in favor of Walrein here. Getting Empoleon, Snorlax, Steelix, and the Swamperts.
Empoleon has really kind of died out of Ultra League, though. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah?
It's not as popular as it once was.
Well, I think that's to the player's detriment.
Trev is so popular now.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like there's better water types in Empoleon these days, like Swampert, even Gyarados. I think Walrein is better than Empoleon, right? So I don't know.
What about an Empoleon Charizard core?
Why wouldn't you just run Walrein Charizard?
Valid. I mean, you'd lose to Aurorus.
I think you could.
And
you would lose to Aurorus.
Imposing Empoleon, I guess. No, well, I mean, Walrein generally beats the Empoleon, doesn't it?
So you run like a fighter lead and use you run like Toxicroak in the lead, and then you use Walrein to bait at the Aurorus, and then you're fine, right?
Easy. The Shadow Walrein dropping a lot more than it's gaining, so between Aurorus and Walrein, you definitely want to go the regular Walrein.
Yeah, I think I prefer the Shadow Walrein in Great League. I haven't used Shadow Walrein in Ultra League, so I can't really comment too much on it, like from personal experience. But maybe it might be good. Like again, what I find too is the Shadow seems to help you in the 2 shields because of the powder snow damage, and then you're less reliant on the Earthquake. You can more just go for things, and that's also another problem with Aurorus. You can check the Sims too. it's not quite as consistent in the 2 shields because a lot of the sims require it like baiting and then landing
Oh
like a meteor
shit!
beam,
I
right?
just realized this was the 2 shields
Oh, okay, good
that
to
I
know.
just simmed. Yeah, so yeah, all these things the War Rain picks up and drops over the aura assassin, the 2 shields. What if I go the 1 shields
Shadow
here?
Warrior is better play against Scrafty, although that matters less for. Yeah, it's not a
Yeah.
common matchup for this one.
The Shadow War Rain doing a little better than before in the 1 shields. So both War Rains are picking up Empoleon, Nidoqueen, and the Swamperts, although Shadow War Rain apparently not picking up Shadow Swampert. Interestingly.
The Earthquake.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Just does this Earthquake from Shadow Swampert just destroys it.
A regular War Rain only dropping Shadow Charizard. So still wins against the regular Zard.
Yeah, I don't mind the extra bulk because like Ultra League is kind of like
Yeah.
a lot of bulky Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
You're less able to like one shot things like you are in Great League. So having that extra bulk to stay in a matchup and like tank a move is always nice, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Alright. We have Komao. And we got Steelix. I like Steelix.
Como they say is better than Dragonite, but I'm not quite sold on that, but
Who's they?
people.
What people? What people are? What people are saying Komao is better than Dragonite?
Smart people, smarter than me.
You're still losing to War Rain, you're still losing to Charizard, you are losing to Shadow Champ, which I think Dragonite wouldn't do.
Yeah. Because you take neutral counters, right?
It does beat Dragonite?
Yeah. Because of just the bulk difference.
Yeah, right. It's not a super bulky Pokemon. Would you say like 4,000 is like your benchmark of what's bulky versus not bulky?
Not exactly sure for Ultra
sure.
League. I just go off of my gut.
Sure.
I'd say it's mid-ish.
Yeah.
It's the lower end of mid. I would put it in like a similar category as like Swampert or something. Can take a move, but not exactly like a tank, right?
Yeah, sure. Like a Frostlass.
Yeah, Frostlass gets a bad rep.
Yeah, I was having this debate with DeFi on the GoCast last episode. Like, I was saying, it's not that glassy, and she's like, it's pretty glassy.
It's a piece of glass, and it's just like, if you look at the stat product, it's actually like pretty comparable with like other things that people don't think of as like as glassy as Frostlass. So
maybe
it's just because of the ice typing, not resisting as many things.
Maybe that's it. So I use kind of the 1850 mark, or maybe like 1900 in Great League as like the benchmark. Anything above that, I say, yeah, that's a bulky Pokemon. Anything below that, I'm like, oh yeah, it's pretty glassy.
Sure.
So Steelix,
I would say if you have a Steelix, you can whether they
that's a good point, Ricky.
It depends on the Pokemon you're facing, right? Like if the Pokemon's dealing a lot of charge moves, then you probably want more like defense, I guess it is. But if it's like more fast move, or I don't know, it's one of the two. But I know, for instance,
that's a
like
good point. I agree with that.
Lock-ons, like if you're lock-onning
a Wigglytuff,
a Deoxys,
oh yeah,
versus a Wigglytuff. Like, have you ever tried to lock on down a Wigglytuff?
It doesn't happen.
Do not try to do that.
I don't think it's ever happened.
A lock on down a Deoxys defense? Oh, easy. Yeah. It's got a lot of defense, but its HP is very small, right? So those lock-ons are doing like a lot of damage comparatively.
If they ever allow Shuckle in PvP, then you want 1-turn fast moves against it.
Yeah. I would say
Alright,
if you
so
have Steelix, you should probably use it. It's like it seems like it's a good core breaker because it's not super common and a lot of yes, Drift Blim. I've also tried to
yeah.
lock on down a Drift Blim. Don't try to do that. Um, yeah, you would think it's still doing 1 damage, right? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's doing
this
half the
this is an
damage.
interesting one. Glasscore versus Steelix.
I feel like they can just go straight EQ. Yeah,
Just straight EQ? Yeah, you're right.
in the
No
ones
need
I
to
know
bait.
in Great League, if you go straight EQ, try to counter him. Okay, that's bold. I think in Great League, like for instance, like if you go straight EQ versus Basti, you get smacked down before you get to 3 EQs. So sometimes, like with the fast move pressure, and they're going straight Psychic Fangs,
Mm.
do you get to 3 Earthquakes if they double shield? Just curious.
If they double shield. No.
And that's with baiting too. So you
That's
probably
with
want
the
to
bait,
get
yeah, hang on. Let me
if you go straight EQ, you probably want to get to 3 EQs.
No. No, you don't.
So something to consider if
Mm.
like you might be thinking it's a good matchup. I'm just gonna throw the EQ, right? But if your opponent really wants to win that matchup, if they shield both EQs, they can just farm you down after, right? So
But you can oh wow, okay. If I was gonna say as the Steelix user you could probably just take the 1 shield advantage. Hang on, wait, what am I doing? No. Okay, so as the Glasscore user, you could probably like take the 1 shield advantage and just let it go down.
yeah.
Oh
yeah,
maybe.
you
You're
would,
probably
but,
actually
like,
leaving it with too much HP left. You probably wouldn't want to do
that's
that.
the thing. It's like, and then they have no shields, but they have like a full health.
Mm,
They might have flipped switch. They have alignment, and then they have a full health Steelix.
yeah.
So it's tricky. It's tricky. So I don't like this Pokemon because it's too good.
Well, Glasscore,
And no Steelix.
Steelix.
I was using it in the cup we have for BTW,
Mm-hmm.
the Planetary Cup, and it was pretty good.
How are you going in that?
I won the first 2 rounds.
Okay, nice.
Last
usual.
last round, I caught an Earthquake on my 1 HP Politoed. It was pretty funny. I didn't even think he had Earthquake. I thought he just double Psychic Fanged me. I called the bait, and then I thought he was gonna go for like a crunch. So like I wanted to catch it and just like clear the debuff, right?
Mm.
And then it turned out to be an Earthquake. And then at that point, the game was all but over.
It was all over.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think the thing though about Aurorus that I am a little concerned about is there historically is quite a bit of fighters in this meta.
Mm. And that was actually exactly what I was gonna ask about next.
Like Machamp, Surfetch is really good. I ran actually quite a bit of Payback Machamp
Okay.
in Ultra League Premier Classic for fun, and I pay back quite a few Trevenants. So, what gets 1 shot?
So, and I think the trouble, well, one thing that's a problem with Aurorus over Walrein is that Aurorus would have much less play against your fighters than what Walrein does. Like, you can flip battles with Walrein.
Exactly. So like Escav, even like Machamp, stuff like that. Like you can flip those with a bit of energy on your Walrein, right?
Actually, Escavalier, how much does a Meteor Beam do to an Escavalier?
Probably a lot. What Pokemon is good for Fighting Cup Remix? Toxicroak.
Yeah,
Good luck.
absolutely.
Good
Toxicroak
luck.
is your absolute go-to. Kingbreaker.
Just run Toxicroak and then 2 things that beat Toxicroak, and you'll be fine.
Aurorus versus Escav. And then if you want to beat
wanna-
everyone
I
else's
wanna know how much a
Toxicroaks,
counter
then
does.
throw his counter from the Escavalier.
Yeah, I want to know which one
Whoops.
counter does.
Does 8.4%. So that's not as much as what I thought it would do, actually. A Meteor Beam does 66%.
Does Escav win the zeros?
It would
It should,
surely
right?
win the
Drill
zeros.
run is
Yeah,
super
drill run's
effective.
super effective.
So, like, look at
Yes,
that. Aurora
yeah.
says, unless it has like a crap ton of energy, but then you can check wall run versus Escav, and like for sure, because Escavalier is going to be one of the most popular
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon.
I mean, that's good for an end game snipe. So you burn their last shield and then quickly swap into your Aurorus that has a Meteor Beam banked. And you take out the rest of that Escav.
I would just use the PvPoke suggested moves for Fighting Cup. Usually they're pretty good there, so just check the rankings. And I think it's Mud Bomb, Sludge Bomb, probably.
Yeah. Dynamic Punch does have a little bit of play in this meta, I think.
I can see
in the Fighting Cup. Yeah, the only problem is against, what was it?
Heracross.
Heracross, yeah. And I guess Galarian Zapdos, but there's not too many of those around.
I would still say probably Sludge then is safer, but...
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, yeah, so Fighting Machamp, Escav, very popular. A Surfetch is one of my favorites.
And everyone's favorite fighter, Togekiss.
It has, what, Hidden Power? Fighting?
Yeah.
Snorlax is always a good pick in this meta. Very neutral safe swap because, again, dark fighting is not really a thing. So, I mean, there is some Obstagoon, but then even then you're going to get shields, or at least pressure shields with the potential superpower, right? So,
What do you think of, like, ABA fighter?
ABA fighter? Why?
Yeah.
Did you run ABA fighter?
Because
Yeah,
right, that's your biggest problem.
I mean, also Charizard, Crobat.
Well, at least with Charizard, you can probably get a shield from him before going down. And isn't that the point? Like you want the first A to be able to put some pressure on before having that AB and core in the back.
ABB fighters with Machamp and Surfetch.
Mm-hmm.
Surfetch is like a super good save swap. Because the team's actually going to be better now because there's not going to be any you could maybe run that team with like Aurorus, I believe.
So is there I actually jumped ahead in my brain a little bit because I was originally thinking like, okay, could you be ABB weak to fighting, or is there just too much fighting going on? And like, would there be teams that have multiple fighters?
Possibly. I've done it before. I used to run double fighting team. I had that Nidoqueen double fighting.
Okay.
But I'm not sure how good Nidoqueen's going to be anymore, especially now that it's with the nerf. So, again, maybe you could try Aurorus. Or
Aurorus is what, as the A there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you'd be able to beat like most of flyers, the dragon stuff, the steals you can, and other fighters you can handle. Like Core Breaker would be like Toxicroak.
Yeah.
Would be kind of annoying.
Yep.
But if it's a Toxicroak lead, I would just swap into Shadow Machamp. And they probably stay in anyways, because most likely they're weak to fighting in the back if they have a Toxicroak lead. And you can just play with that matchup and try to get shields. So try to get shields down.
And so what about being ABB weak to fighting? Do you think that's a safe enough strategy?
Yeah, it could work, but you just have to make sure that you need to be able to sweep with one of your Pokemon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I like Dragonite, Snorlax, like and some sort of Steel.
And Walrein. or some sort of steel. What steels are there around?
Walrus,
Oh, there's Steelix
like
and Escavalier, right?
Escav, Steelix, yeah, something like
That's pretty
that
much
would
it.
probably be pretty good as your final pick. I think that could be like a really solid team.
Mm. Mm. So I'm also like I record a 5-minute TLDR version of this
Mhm.
of this breakdown, and I'm always thinking like, how am I going to summarize this meta in 5 minutes for the people who don't want to watch the whole thing? And so I'm thinking of pointing out the less steals, the higher prevalence of wing attackers, the increased prevalence of Swampert and Aurorus. What else would I mention?
I think it's a flyers meta. Not gonna
A flying
lie.
meta.
Like
There you go.
it's a flyers meta. So like fighters are okay,
Yeah.
but just make sure they can hit back. Like that's why I like Surfetch and Machamp, because you have the Rock Slide and you have Brave Bird. I would run Brave Bird on Surfetch because you can one shot Charizard, and also Night Slash is not as threatening versus Trevenant, whereas a Brave Bird endgame you can one shot a Trev. So I still think Surfetch is an incredibly strong safe swap. Like you're gonna get shield advantage 9 times out of 10 with that Pokemon as a safe swap.
What about Machamp as a safe swap?
Yeah, it's also good, but Surfetch is a little like the fighting or the grass flying coverage and the fighting fast move is a little more balanced than the fighting rock.
Yeah.
Because like if they have a Gallade, then they won't shield, right?
True.
Or something like that.
I'm thinking mainly Charizard for the Rock Slide, and I don't know how much of a difference Rock Slide versus Brave Bird makes against a Gliscor.
Rock Slide's only neutral.
Yeah.
Brave Bird hurts. You could also Leaf Blade the Gliscor, which is also neutral, right?
You can.
And I feel like 2 Leaf Blades would put it pretty low.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, good call. And so Brave Bird obviously crushes the Trevenant, where Machamp doesn't, unless you're running Payback. And then if you run Payback, then you give up the Rock Slide for the Charizard. So yeah, Machamp is looking a lot harder to run than Surfetch.
Yeah, I think Machamp's a better closer than Surfetch, but I really do like Surfetch. And I mean, you don't even need to run double fighters. You could run something else that's weak to flying in the back. Like you could run Surfetch Trev. You could run and then something that beats like flying and like dark types in the lead. Like something like their Aurorus, like could handle the poisons, handle the flyers, that type of stuff.
You know what? I'm really not minding Trevenant as your pivot here, because I think with an energy lead, Trevenant has play against all of these things. Maybe not Honchkrow, maybe not Obstagoon.
No, like Honchkrow, no. Obstagoon, no. Snorlax. There'll be quite a bit of Snorlax in the back.
You're right. Yep.
Hate safe swapping it. A strategy that I used to use is like if the opponent would safe swap the Snorlax, and I would chip it with my let's say my lead, chip it, get it down to half or just under half health, and they're saving their energy to try to flip switch. At that point, then I would bring in my Trev.
Bring in Trev, yeah. That's a good strat. I love that.
The energy is going nowhere.
Yeah.
And you can they're almost in seed bomb range at that point, right? So that's when Trev is nice against those things. But if it's full health, and yeah, I don't know how popular Honchkrow is going to be. It's kind of like a meme pick in my opinion. It's very targeted on the ghost types.
Pidgeot is there at number 31. That's crazy.
It's a level 40 Pidgeot.
Yeah.
Beware, I don't know about that one, but
yeah.
I mean,
I still think more often than not, you'll be able to swap into Trev after a bad lead, and their counters for that will be like your Charizard, your Dragonites, or like there'll be a
I
lot of
always
Snorlax.
found it was like a good closer because like if I can get shield advantage or energy lead on it, even if it's like a Charizard or a Gyarados or something like that in the back, like I can really put a lot of pressure on them, right? Like they have to shield the Shadow Ball. So
so multi.
It's a very good pick in this meta.
Premier Classic Ultra League. With how much do you want to give it? 2 Shadow Claws of energy?
Yeah, you can give it 2. You can do the safe swap scenario.
So that's
it's basically only losing
things.
to the Darks. It loses the Steelix again. Steelix is super annoying.
Yeah.
I have mons like Pidgeot and Steelix. Any play with 20.
Steelix definitely.
Yeah, Steelix gets up pretty high. Pidgeot, I'm not sure. I think it's kind
let's
of
look
like
at Pidgeot next.
I feel like Pidgeot's kind of like RPS against Trev. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I mean, it's okay having it's okay being on the good side of RPS if you're like it's RPS against Trev. I mean, because
it's barely beating Obstagoon. It loses to Machamp, Surfetch.
Oh, that's a big deal.
Loses to Swampert. Like I don't know. Like a flying type losing to Swampert is not something you really want, right?
I'm looking at the fighters. A flying type losing to Machamp and Surfetch. Get out of here.
I mean, it's neutral. It makes sense, but it just doesn't have the bulk to handle the fast move beatdown from them, right?
Overall stat product of 3152. That is...
It's not good.
Like, Charizard is 36. That's a huge difference. Dragonite is 30. Like, Dragonite's bulkier than Pidgeot at level 40.
Yeah, I just don't think it's... Like, look at Steelix stat product. Like, you can tell, like, there's a reason... Because Steelix gets close to 2,500 at level 50. Or level 40.
And that's a 4,500 stat product.
Steelix is just a tank.
Yeah, so we're thinking Pidgeot no play.
I wouldn't say no play, but it's...
No play, none. I mean, Zero play for Pidgeot.
I've seen people run Unfezant before in this meta to try to RPS Trevs. Good for you, Kingbreaker. Scrafty, I'm not sure it's good in Fighting Cup, but let us know how it goes.
In Open Great League, it's fine.
I mean, it's good if you get it on throw, that's for sure. But
is it still good? Thinking of the Scrafty, I think you used to be able to shield your way through a Noctowl with Scrafty. Can you still do that now that the wing attack's been buffed?
No idea.
Okay.
You tell me.
Hey, Breaker. Shadow Steelix is in fact OP. But is anyone going to have a Hundo Shadow Steelix?
I think I saw somebody post on Twitter they had a Hundo Onyx, at least.
Especially, and are they going to want to build it? Now, I mean, I guess no harm in not building a Hundo of anything, really. Because then, isn't Steelix a Mega as well?
You can't Mega Shadows, it's the only problem.
Ah, yeah, of course.
I mean, what other use would it have other than this, really?
Just, it's out there, but there could be some sort of meta in Master League one day where a Steelix is like, oh, hang on, this is actually viable.
Maybe.
It's I don't know, likely it is, but like it's I think it's always good. I've learned my lesson about like I actually started deleting hundos at one point because I'm like, what am I going to use this for? And then I started seeing some of the picks, the unexpectedly good picks in like one of the Master League Premier Classic Cups, and I'm like, maybe I should stop doing that.
Yeah, you should definitely stop deleting your hundos.
Alright, so Let's see. What haven't we looked at yet?
I mean, we talked about it briefly, but I think Shadow Gyarados, or just Gyarados in general, is like a staple in this meta as well.
Okay.
Because you have good play against Charizard, and you have good play against 5-star, and you do a lot of similar things that they do with the flying typing. Also, you do have Crunch to hit back against Trevenant.
I think that's a really good one. Like it wall swamp it pretty decently. It would do quite well. Put a lot of pressure on a lot of these picks. Including the Trevenant.
It's really
like you
good.
Said. It is. Probably the
like
first thing it would struggle with is maybe Steelix.
No, it definitely struggles with Steelix.
I mean, you're still doing the super effective Aqua Tails, and you're getting to them pretty quickly.
Yeah, 12 turns. Well, good luck, King Breaker. I hope you can get the A's.
Use that Pallet Town server.
You probably want Pallet or a Bullet Pond or a Counter and Legend. Okay, well, good. Do you want to put the Discord link there, or are they already in the Discord?
They're already in the server, yeah.
Okay.
I saw them put their friend code in the friends channel. I hope people took Kingbreaker up on that, because Kingbreaker's looking for friends.
Well, that's the place to look for it, not on Twitch chat, right?
So. That's right. Or Google. Just Google Pokemon Go friend codes. There'll be a lot of people there.
Yeah, so I think like Gyarados, and plus you have that similar to Charizard, where you have that that sub-typing that allows you to take neutral from ice is quite nice. So you can use it as it's a little more flexible as like a pivot when as compared to like Gliscor, right?
Yeah.
Because if they have like a Walrein or a Aurorus in the back, then you're kind of screwed. I mean, maybe Charizard or Gyarados does slightly better against Aurorus because you have Aqua Tail. I don't know. But...
I find it interesting that there's a bunch of fighters in this.
I told you it's a fighter. It's a good fighter meta.
You told me it was a flying meta.
I know, but what beats flyers?
Not fighters.
Things that fighters beat.
Okay,
right?
so we're looking at like
That's
flyer, anti-flyer, and fighter.
And fighter. Yeah,
that
that's
triangle. The circle of life.
Of course. I mean, you could run Extra Drill if you wanted to. I'm not sure if I would advise it. But you could try.
I mean, it doesn't have no play.
It's pretty bad.
I mean, there's better options, sure.
Lucario's ranked high. I literally have never seen anyone run Lucario. I don't know.
Really?
Maybe that could be like a very interesting pick that like can maybe beat like Dragonite, and like maybe if you're running like a Dragonite weak to fighting backline, like at the Dragonite Felix core, then like Lucario's like a core breaker for you.
I agree, Sticky Babs. I wish I had more Aurorus, more Amora.
I just put like 200 rare candies into mine. I might have to build it.
I've been hearing people talk about this, and I completely agree. How like what use do we have much use for rare candy these days? Like,
yes,
I've got 1,000. Yeah, basically,
how many
like,
Amora candy do you have?
So what I'm saying is like, we should probably have no problem dumping 200, 300 rare candy into one Pokemon without thinking about it, because it's like so rare that we actually need rare candy for something.
Exactly. You got to put it into the like rare Pokemon like Jangmo and Aurorus and the other one, Tyrantrum.
Everyone who's watching, can we have a rare candy check? How much do you have in your bag right now?
I just got rid of some, so this is unfair.
Oh, really?
I'm at 582.
I got 907.
900?
Yeah.
That's too many.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what are we using for? Because I've been playing the game so long now. That's the thing. Like, even though we've all established that I don't grind particularly much, just like,
well, you get rare candy from GBL too, right?
Yeah. That's the biggest one. But like, time allows you to accrue all this stuff, and that's why that whole no classic metas after this. I'm like, yeah, I guess that's fair, because like, it's even if you grind as little as I do, like, the XL candies just accrue over time. They'll eventually come a point where the people who have been playing the game for a long time will just have, hundreds and hundreds of XL candy just sitting there just from natural gameplay. Not even like actively trying to farm the candies.
I'm not sad about Master League Premier Classic going away because it's not that much more, because like all those things in the Master League Premier are pretty accessible because they're non-legendaries.
Yeah.
But I am a little sad about Ultra League Premier Classic going away because it's like a different meta, right?
It is.
It's not just like, oh, you're excelling them or not. No, it's like certain Pokemon are eligible here because they don't get to this level that others can, right? So, I don't necessarily agree with them getting rid of this meta. I think the Master League one is fine because like I would just powered up my Togekiss level 50 finally after I was like unsure because I only had one hundo, but now it doesn't matter. So,
thanks for the follow, Just Nicole, by the way. Saw that. Welcome in. We are talking Ultra League Premier Classic. Let us know what you plan to run. I did, like we talked about this on GoCast, kind of what our thoughts were. One question I forgot to raise, which I feel is a very important question, is why? Like, why do they think it's necessary to eliminate classic cups? Like, what benefit do they think? Why do they think it's? Why do they think they should not have them?
For the Master League, I get it. It's like the main benefit is that you don't have to have like different mons for different things. It's like everyone's worried like, oh, don't build that like XL Kingdra. Make sure your Kingdra is like not above level 40 so you can use it in Premier Classic, and like, oh, you need like 2 Togekisses and you need 2 it's a bit of a quality of life update, right? You need a Garchomp at 50, you need a Garchomp at 40, you need a
Yep. That's reasonable.
Dragonite at 50 and 40. So I think that's the biggest reason. It's also Stardust saving, right? From that Stardust standpoint, you only have to power up 1 mon as opposed to 2, so.
And I guess there would be so few actual open Master League players, I guess. Maybe they want to consolidate those people who like have been playing open Master League with the people who like could compete if they wanted to and put the effort into it, just so that the Master League players aren't, suffering with queue times and stuff like that.
Sure.
One theory I've heard is that they want us to spend Stardust on things because that drives gameplay towards using and buying items. That's valid, and like a lot of people use that as like evidence of, well, here's Niantic being evil. No, I just think that's, their sole reason for existing is to drive us to use the game more. So I wouldn't hold that against them at all.
Again, like the nice thing is, because like I'm doing this Master League factions tournament for fun, just to test out some stuff, and like I was able to power up my Garchomp to level 50 now, finally. Just and not have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah.
So
nice. And so, do you how many level 50 Pokemon do you have?
For Master League, I have 7, I think.
Okay, that's not bad. I've got exactly 0.
I have a Mewtwo, Dialga. Those are my 2 legendaries. I mean, technically, I have a Melt Metal, but that one's like, it's accessible, right?
Yeah.
In terms of a legendary.
Yeah.
And then I have Gyarados, Garchomp, Togekiss, and Mamoswine, and Primarina.
Nice. Kingbreaker asks, is Drifblim good for Great League? It's better in certain formats. It's if you want to use ghosts, there's better ghosts, and if you want to use a flyer, there's probably better flyers.
There's
so
like
it's
there's like so many friggin' Bastiodon right now, so like
yeah.
I mean,
well, it's probably one of the better flyers against Bastiodon.
No, that's Dragonite.
That's true. But one of the better, not the best.
That was my favorite today. I was like, when I Dragon Clawed the thing, it didn't, or the Medicham, it didn't die. And then they swapped into the Bastiodon. I was like, oh no, this is bad. And then I looked down, I'm like, oh, I have a superpower.
So,
See ya.
Bye. Sticky Bab says, I need to start investing in Master League. For a while there, my main focus was XL Ultra League mod, which is fair enough. You can really only focus on one thing at a time. And Wikipedia says, there have been a couple of themed cups like Sinnoh where it has been core meta. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so, I have a 98% Dragonite that's a 15, 15, 14 lucky. I'll probably build that one next because Dragonite's like super strong. And then I just got a lucky Zacian from one of my faction's teammates.
Nice.
And it's a 15, 15, 13. So pretty happy about that because I have XLs for Zacian. I just didn't have a good... I had actually the same IVs, but I'd rather build the lucky.
All right, so going back to Ultra League, the fairies obviously got debuffed. How much difference do you think there is between this season and last season?
I don't think, I don't know. I feel like, yeah, Double Charm, I guess it was, kind of popular, but, I mean, I don't see much Double Charm. I did lose to a Double Charm team. I mean, Double Fairy. They had one Charmer.
I think Empoleon Double Charm is still going to be good.
I don't know, man. Charm is, actually bad now.
It's not bad. Get out of here.
No, it is. I swear to God.
It's slightly less busted.
I think they should have left it the way it was. I don't know if I'm in the minority now, but
Nah, you are absolutely trolling.
No, I have regrets because it's even Nidoqueen, not right now, but if you send a message to the practice battles, maybe someone will battle you in the Discord. Honestly, if you look at the meta now, the teams that people are running, I miss the presence that Nidoqueen and Charmers had in the meta. I lost a team the other day that was Altaria, Medicham, Buzzwole. Okay, that was the team that clapped me. So
that's a team that's just come out of hiding. No, I think it's removed some of the RPS.
I went up against a team. It was Registeel, Bastiodon, Medicham. Nidoqueen just would make that person think twice, right?
Mm-hmm.
But no one's running Nidoqueen, so
I think there's a little less RPS in Great League now than there was before. Are
you sure with Trevenant and Nile and Lantern Circle?
Maybe I'm just getting better at it, but last time I played Open Great League, I was there was literally nothing I could do to stop myself getting RPS'd at some stage in a battle. Could quite possibly be, yeah. But they're with Nidoqueen not being as popular now, Nidoqueen was such a good anti-fighter and such a good anti-fairy. Fairies were so RPS.
And pretty decent anti-steal.
You're right. And then fairies themselves are so RPS in just crushing the fighters, but getting crushed by the steals and Nidoqueen.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's removed that kind of spoke of the wheel, if that makes sense.
It's a different, yeah. I mean, it's fine. Like I said, just run Shadow Dragonite. You can just superpower the steals, and you'll be fine.
And you can do that without the fairies being as prominent.
That is the good thing. Actually, the team that I might run at regionals, let's see what they update for the next season. But it's very weak to fairies.
Oh, really? I'm very much considering Wigglytuff in my team.
Dude, don't run Wigglytuff. Get the frick out of here. I'll give you teams if you want.
I'm gonna run my Wigglytuff all the way to Japan.
I'll give you teams if you want. Don't run Wigglytuff, okay?
I'm gonna kick your ass with Wigglytuff.
It's a Registeel meta, and you're gonna run Wigglytuff? Get out of here.
I mean, not all the Pokemon can be Registeel. You can only bring one Registeel per team.
6 Registeels on the team.
Lapras. How does Lapras do against Gyarados? Actually, I think Lapras is worth the look.
It's decent. It's because Skull Bash. It might
And
be
that
like a little bait
Ice Shard
dependent.
against Glasscore, Trevenant, Dragonite, and then Surf
Yeah,
to
yeah.
pressure
I mean,
the
it'll destroy
Charizard.
Gliscor, right? Ice Shard
Mm,
Surf. Like,
yeah.
don't be dissing Mr. Wiggles. Okay. Miss Wiggles, yeah, sorry, Matthew.
Yeah,
See,
if
Matthew's a
you don't
YouTube
want to
guy
get
now.
on
He's a YouTube guy. He
Breaker's
has to comment for YouTube.
you don't want to get on Breaker's bad side.
I did get clapped by a Wigglytuff today.
There
And
you
no,
go.
I'm not running a Shadow Dragonite Lickitung core, okay?
And Trevenant. Don't forget Trevenant.
No, I have a Registeel in the back, but they baited that out with their stupid Powder Snow A9. They should have brought in the Lickitung.
Venusaur. What does it have to worry about apart from Trevenant, Charizard, Dragonite, Venusaur? I mean, is apart from Trevenant, Charizard, and Dragonite, is there anything at all that Venusaur has to worry about?
The Trevenant matchup's a little better for Venusaur in Ultra League.
Is it?
Because I think 2 Frenzies still KO, but like you can take the Shadow Claws a little better in Ultra League, right?
Yeah, it can. Yep.
Is Talonflame good for Open Great League? Questionable.
Yeah, decent. It's good if you can build up some flame charters and then just start pressuring stuff with that.
I mean, there's a lot of Bastiodon on it there, so
There's
I
a lot
wouldn't
of
be
Bastiodon out there.
it. And there's a lot of Altaria. So I mean, like, it's gonna be good in the Holiday Cup though, which is coming up soon.
Oh, okay. Watch out for
That'll be
the
next week,
meta
right?
breakdown of that.
Oh, no, wait. We're gonna do Ultra League. Wait, what is it after this? It goes. Then it will go 2 weeks of Ultra League, and then
Let's find out. We have Holiday Cup, Great League Edition, then Ultra League Edition.
So we will be getting. What move can I use in Talonflame? You definitely want Incinerate, Flame Charge, Brave Bird.
What if you don't have the Talonflame double moved? I'd say Incinerate's Flame Charge is the way to go.
Isn't it only 10k for the second move for Talonflame?
Humor me.
I don't know. I probably wouldn't use the single move Talonflame. I don't know. I mean, like in the Fighting Cup, I would say sure, use a single move throw. It's not gonna matter.
I
Like,
thought you were saying in the Fighting Cup use a single move Talonflame.
I mean, single move Talonflame in the Fighting Cup would be stonk for sure. That'd be
Busted.
pretty good Pokemon.
Lyle's scam for
Actually
busted approval.
I mean, although Poliwrath, Poliwrath might have a thing to do with it.
I mean, if you're using Brave Bird though.
Yeah, that's true.
What else? We've got the Gengar. So
Gengar is always a nice pick.
Yeah.
It's a little glassy, but it's you can use it as I like it as a safe swap, and you can even run it with Focus Blast.
Spark and Fang makes no sense. Why is that? I think Spark, Fang, and Wild Charge is a good combination.
Spark, yeah. It's kind of a bit of a sim Pokemon with the Fang bait, but it does look interesting. Like Electric does look pretty interesting in this meta because as we've seen, there's a lot of flyers. There's a lot of waters. There's not quite a lot of ground types. There's really only the Gliscor, so.
And if you're worried about Gliscor, then you've got Electivire.
Yo, I'm gonna run Electivire.
Let's see. So
I just
Luxray,
said I'm gonna
Magzone,
run
and Electivire.
Electivire, and then I got a notification saying Pogodoms is live. What is going on?
If you say Electivire 3 times in front of a camera,
Then Pogodoms goes live. I have a shiny Electivire built for Ultra League.
Alolan Golem.
No. Not good.
I mean, if you really just hate Charizard, if you're
Sure.
so sick of being pummeled by Charizard, you're like, get out of here, then Alolan Golem's there.
But at least Electivire or can do something against like Swampert, whereas Alolan Golem is down bad.
Can it though? Like, how much does an Ice Punch do, really?
From a shadow, it does a lot.
To a Swampert. Ugh.
I've seen Doms take out.
What's the over under? Give me the over under on Shadow Electivire Ice Punch.
I'm gonna say it does 35%.
Swampert. And we want Shadow against a regular Swampert?
Sure.
Okay, so are you going to take over or under 35?
I will take over 35.
Okay,
please.
And so I'll take under. And what happens if you win?
Then it confirms that I'm always right.
And what happens if I win?
Confirms that you're always wrong.
I don't agree to these odds. I don't agree to these stakes.
Don't let me down, Electivire.
32. Oh, unlucky.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Yeah. So I'll take your account.
Transfer Wigglytuff? Okay, I will get right on that. You want me to transfer my Wigglytuff? Not a problem.
My Wigglytuffs are ranked 9, so I would not want to. Like, if I just had a shitty Wigglytuff, I'd actually, agree to those stakes. Alolan Golem also would be better against your Dragonite. No, it wouldn't. The Ice Punch. What am I talking about?
I would probably lean towards. I would probably run Magnezone over Golem.
Yeah. Not good call.
Steel is a nice subtyping.
Yeah.
I think Steel is a better subtyping than Rock. Obviously, Rock is kind of
Yeah.
And if you're gonna get destroyed by Swampert, you might as well beat the dragons, right?
I guess Aurorus. You'd prefer Golem for Aurorus? Yeah, it is still decent.
It does charge fast. You need what?
But like if you, I'm trying to find uses for Alolan Golem over Electivire or Magnezone. I mean, even the Magnezone that would be doing double super effective with Mirror Shot against the Aurora, so...
Yeah. And then you're resisting all the moves, as opposed to taking neutral from Meteor Beam.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so do not use Alolan Golem, anyone.
Oh, you could try it. Send me a video if you get it to work.
You got Toxin Nidoqueen. Yeah, I'm still liking that Lapras. Zap Cannon, Magneton, or Ampharos?
Zap Cannon, Magneton, such Ampharos? Probably. Well, Magneton requires Excels.
Excels, yeah.
I think Magnezone can also learn Zap Cannon, but I think you would just want to run Wild Charge.
Yeah, I think so.
And then Ampharos is interesting, actually, with Brutal Swing. Where is that ranked? And they're recommending Thunder Punch, which is interesting. I'm not sure about that.
And they're recommending Thunder Punch Focus Blast as well, so that new move not giving it much, apparently.
So you have a 481 battle rating with that one for Shadow Ampharos. Let's say if we put Brutal Swing and Zap Cannon, we go to 460, so it's worse technically. You should be able to beat Trev with that moveset, though. So, I mean, if you want to get, like, tricky, you could try baiting out, like, a Trev. Maybe they don't know about the moveset yet, you know?
Thunder Punch would be better for your Charizards, for your Empoleons, which I do think Empoleon will still be popular.
Yeah, but Volt Switch is doing a lot of damage there, too, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I think a Brutal Swing will just, like, about KO it with the... And Zap Cannon does a lot. Like I was
It does.
playing around with Shadow Ampharos in Great League, and it's pretty interesting. I actually brought it on my regionals team. It didn't work out so well for me, but I mean, I got it
So
on a G-Fisk in like the first battle, and then like after that, I got kind of scared to bring it again.
mhm.
I did bring it one more time, I think, and I got it on a Noctowl. So,
Yeah,
like a lot of teams had G-Fisk, so
I think you're struggling a lot with like any of the grounds. Whereas Electivire has that Shadow Ice Punch, which can place pressure on things like especially the Gliscor. And like it's got something against the Steelix, even though it still loses that. Whereas your Ampharos, like you're having to get to a Focus Blast or like, and if you're running Zap Cannon, then you've just got Brutal Swing.
exactly.
Like, yeah.
I
So
think,
I'm thinking Electivire is still your best electric.
or the Luxray, because you have the Psychic Fangs.
Yeah.
You could also run Snarl. You could also run Crunch, depending on what you want to use it for. If
So
you
it's
want to use it
versatile.
as like if you want to use it as like a sneaky like safe swap, like who in their right mind is going to bring a flying type into electric type as a safe swap, right?
Mm.
So you could run Crunch on it, and then maybe like flip some switches versus like a Trev or something that swaps into you,
Yeah, that's a good move.
just to like throw people off. Mm-hmm.
One other point about Gengar is I can see it doing the same thing as a Dragonite, where you put it in the lead, it gets you shield advantage, you can swap it out with some energy and have two bulky Pokemon in the back, like save your shields for the Gengar, and then like Gengar can start and end the battle.
Right. Yeah, Gengar. I mean, sure. It's similar to Surfetch, right? Where you can
Yeah.
like get shields with it, especially in like a safe swap scenario.
And it beats Trev, doesn't it?
Well, you have Pace Trev, and C-Bomb
It's
resisted.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
5-4 to
yeah.
Shadow Punch.
Can they
and
tank
then
a Shadow Punch?
I don't think very well.
45%, and each Shadow Claw is doing 7%.
I mean, it's the same scenario as the Sneasler, right?
Yeah,
It doesn't kill you, but you definitely want to shield it.
Because yeah, then they can just they can farm you down from there. So Shadow Claws plus Shadow Punch is 80% of your HP gone.
Exactly. Yeah,
So then
I
they
think
farm you down 3 more Shadow Claws and you're done. So no, effectively no, you can't tank a Shadow Claw, Shadow Punch.
not very well. I'm playing.
All right, good luck, Kingbreaker.
Good luck, buddy. Blastoise seems interesting, but again, you need XL, so that would be like a hundo. Again, Muck I think is pretty good because of the coverage you have on it. Maybe not as good now if Gliscor is like really popular, but we'll have to see. What is that, Galissapod?
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't recommend that one.
Yeah, nah, don't bother with Galissapod. Meganium, Shadow Gardevoir, Shadow Muck. There's your Alolan Ninetales again, but that's got to be a hundo. Pelipper's got to be a hundo. Yeah, I think we've got
is like decent, I would say. Like Dina would tell you that it's pretty good. Because
especially with the lack of fighters now. So lack of fairies now.
Yeah, with less fairies. I mean, it still takes neutral from ice as a dragon. And as like a safe swap, you can flip matchups with the debuff as well.
Yeah.
If you need to. So I think it's definitely something to consider. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm actually really interested in that. I think that's rated a lot lower than it should be.
It's kind of the reverse of a sim hero usually, Kingdra.
It does worse than
it does worse in the sims than it actually does in the games. Because it's kind of like a bait, and then like right when your opponent thinks like, oh, they're just gonna throw Octazooka, you outrage them, right?
Yeah.
And then you can still shield and farm down. So It's definitely a very strong pick. And if there's
When-
not a lot of steel in the meta and like fairies are on the downward trend, there's not a lot that it has to really worry about. But dragon water typing.
Yeah, exactly. When we did the Pallet Town PvP Ultra League draft competition, I picked up Kingdra as a round 5 pick,
Oof,
and it
steel.
carried me through. It
Yeah, that's a
absolutely carried
steal.
me through.
You put
Yeah.
debuff. I missed some Weather Cup. Remember the Ultra League Weather Cup last season?
Yeah.
So I was running Regirock double water dragon. I was running Regirock, Kingdra, Palkia.
Palkia, wow.
Yeah, it was pretty
that's
fun.
boss. Yeah, I love that.
It was a very fun
That's
team.
amazing.
I was Draco meteoring some stuff. Palkia.
I think we're done. I think we can wrap it up.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much it. Nothing too crazy down there in the lower end, eh? Let me just do one quick check here.
All right, cool. I'll wait.
Empoleon is like always very low, just FYI.
Yeah, but it still somehow finds a way.
Flygon is interesting-ish. It has like niche play.
Mm-hmm.
But the double weakness to ice is tricky.
It's problematic, yeah.
Excadrill is down there. It's like got a good typing, but not sure. But like the stats are pretty poor. Like it's a 33-63, so it's like right around. It's right around like Pidgeot. You play
Yep.
open, yeah. I'm just like gonna enjoy this thing one more time.
Yeah.
Before it goes. Did they? Can you see our thing here?
We'll get to that later.
Rapidash? No. Gramble. Crustle? Okay, Crustle is kind of like a spice pick, but it definitely has some like core breaking potential, especially if people start swapping like Charizards and stuff.
Yeah.
It's definitely interesting. Can be like a core breaker for like a Walrein Charizard team or something like that, or Aurorus Charizard. Like Crustle can like core break some of those things, right?
Yeah.
Of 3 from research. Well,
I think he means just from like the research we've been doing. I hope that's what you mean, Sticky Mouse.
From my research? That is a good question. Like I said, I'll probably try the team that I was running last season at the beginning, which was the Kanto Muck Gyarados Trevenant team. But I also might want to try like some sort of Dragonite team yet, which I haven't quite figured out. A lot of people are running it with Escav. I don't know. It seems like maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'll try something. That's like a common team, but or I'll try something with Zard, Shadow Zard. I like the idea of like Snorlax with Shadow Zard or something.
Maybe I could find some kind of ABB with like Gyarados Kingdra.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Pyroar now has Incinerate.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. And it will destroy the ghosts.
Yeah.
And Escavalier.
Yeah. It's not completely safe against Escav because like you're still having to shield every charge move and you're still taking super effective from counter. Like I know the Pyroar is doing better, but
Solgaleo is on the rankings for Ultra League Premier Classic.
Is it?
It's rank 153. I don't think it's eligible, but good to know.
Okay, trainer.
I mean, just keep in mind, maybe Niantic fucks up. If you want to have fun, you can play a half an hour to 2 hours of Solgaleo in Ultra League Premier Classic tomorrow.
Actually, maybe
Yeah.
instead of Kingdra, I'd run Lapras, so like Gyarados Lapras as my line, as my bees, and then just an anti-electric in the lead. So maybe like a Trev, Gyarados Lapras.
Yeah, seems good, but just obviously with those types of lines, you are a little weak to like a goon. But other than that, it's
Yep,
good.
yep.
I mean, you're not going to be able to beat everything, and not every team's going to have a goon on it. So
I'm sure
I don't.
there's a better A I could find.
No, I don't hate it. Like
Mm.
you can throw a C bomb at the goon, try to catch a Night Slash on your Gyarados,
Mm.
and by the end of the game you just chip it down, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, there's ways around it. It's not like you're running like Auroras and in the lead and uh you know Walrein in the back, and then you're gonna get clapped by a goon.
What do you think of Boombastic's smack hole with Crustle, T-Tar, and Fighter lead, like Surfetch?
Yeah, I think Crustle is decent. I'm not sure about uh T-Tar, but Surfetch lead.
Well, Crustle could probably draw out a fighter, but it could also draw out a Swampert. Yeah, I think the problem with
Yeah,
that is that there's multiple roles that can handle that quite well. So fighting and Mud Boys both
yeah, like
handle that, and
Toxicroak would be very tricky for that team.
yeah, yeah.
If I personally, if I'm using Crustle as a safe swap, I prefer Fury Cutter
Hmm.
because it does better versus like swamp, like the ground types, like Swampert,
Sure.
and also like some fighters and stuff, because you can at least spam charge moves. But I mean, yeah, I'm looking down the list here. It doesn't look like there's too much other interesting stuff down here. Hmm.
You just let me
So
know.
I think someone was telling me that Porygon was good, but I don't know if that's XLs or not. And I don't know if that's an XL Pokemon.
Porygon.
Two.
Porygon. That's Porygon 2. Right, Porygon Z definitely wouldn't need. Yeah, 26 to 30.
No, I think Porygon two. So like, if you're looking for a last little tidbit, if you're looking for a spice pick, Porygon two might be. I mean, look, it beats Walrein. It could beat Charizard with the Zap Cannon. You lose to Trevenant as a normal type, which always hurts, but it technically can run Solar Beam
Which
and
would
Hyper
still
Beam.
lose to Trev.
Yeah.
Um, Hyper Beam. Let's go. Um, so rank 1 is level 39. So yeah, you're
So you
fine
can
there.
run it, yeah.
Yeah,
There's a spice.
Porygon 2 ranked higher than Porygon Z. Interestingly.
Yeah, it's bulkier. Yeah, it's
Oh,
pretty.
nice.
It's. I know some people that seem to think it's kind of niche, but it definitely has some shield pulling potential for sure. Kind of like a budget Reggie.
So Kingbreaker, just ask this stuff in the. We've got a GBL channel on the Discord. There'll be people who can answer you there.
Yeah, official tag you there as soon as we're done. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Should we raid
Yeah,
Doms?
yeah, let's raid Doms.
All right. Oops, that's the wrong window. Here we go. Raid Pogo Doms, and good luck with your Ultra League Premier Classic battles. If you're watching this on YouTube, let us know what you're gonna run. Pop a comment down in the in the comments section. Let us know what you've decided to put together based on what you've seen from this chat. And we'll be back next week with the Holiday Cup Great League Edition.
Feel free to tag me if you want in the Discord, and I will attempt to my best to help you out.
And go check out Lyle on Twitch as well. Link is under his face.
I'll be streaming Thursday for Ultra League Premier Classic. Come by.
Let's go. All right, catch you guys. Bye, Hayden. And